Now we are going to study the third scene of third. The setting is Mrs. Malaprop lodging. In the previous scene, we have already studied that the marriage proposal was fixed between Lydia Langvis and Captain Absolute. With the permission of Mrs. Malaprop, her guardian, and Sir Anthony Absolute, the father of Captain Absolute. But this marriage was not accepted by Lydia Langvis because she wanted to love a poor person, and she has already started loving a person named Mr. Beverly. But she doesn't, that's why she opposes this marriage, because she was already engaged to Mr. Beverly and she is not ready to marry this person, Captain Absolute. But Captain Absolute is the same person who is acting as two different persons. In his real face, he is Captain Absolute, with whom the marriage has been settled. Secondly, he is himself Mr. Beverly, whom Lydia Langvis loves. So, because the marriage has been fixed by his father, so that's why he goes there to meet Mrs. Malaprop as the future groom of her daughter, niece, Lydia Langvis. And he also reaches there to meet his future wife, Lydia Langvis, as Mr. Beverly. But both the person, Lydia Langvis and her guardian, Malaprop, both are unaware of the fact that the same person is acting of two persons. So this is the house of Mrs. Malaprop. Mrs. Malaprop with a letter in her hand and Captain Absolute. He has come with a letter, introductory letter that he has father has written this letter to Mrs. Malaprop, stating that this is his son, Captain Absolute. Mrs. Malaprop welcomes him as the future groom of her niece, Lydia Langvis. Your weighing Sir Anthony's son, Captain, would itself be a sufficient accommodation, but from the ingenuity of your appearance, I am convinced you deserve the character here given of you. She welcomes her future groom, Damad, no? Future Damad. Because she doesn't know this is the same hated person, Mr. Beverly, who is the lover of her niece, Lydia Langvis. So that's why she welcomes him. And as she is in the habit of misapplying the words, in this short dialogue, she has also misapplied two words. One is accommodation, that she wanted to say recommendation. Second word that she has misused here, ingenuity. Actually, she wanted to say ingenuousness. So these are the wrong application of words. Absolute. Permit me to say, madam, that as I never yet have had the pleasure of seeing Miss Langvis, my principal inducement in this affair at present is the honor of being allied to Mrs. Malaprop, of whose intellectual accomplishments, elegant manners, and unaffected learning, no tongue is silent. Because he is very cunning. Sir, Captain Absolute is a cunning boy. So that's why he respects so much to Mrs. Malaprop, saying that she is an intellectual, she has been a learned personality, she has learned the language that she uses so efficiently, it is beautiful. So in this way, he respects her, he shows deep respect towards her, so that she may be happy and she may be friend in the first sight, so that she should help him to meet his future wife, Lydia Langvis. Mrs. Malaprop, sir, you do me infinite honor. Really, she is very happy with this salutation. I beg, Captain, you will be seated. Please sit. Ah, few gentlemen nowadays know how to value the ineffectual qualities in a woman, not ineffectual. Actually, it is intellectual qualities. Few think how a little knowledge becomes a gentleman. Men have no sense now but for the worthless flower of beauty. She also appreciates Captain Absolute because he is the boy who respects the lady. Now it is not in fashion that the boys are respecting ladies. Actually, they don't respect ladies, but this boy is a very good boy because he respects lady and also respects, appreciate the knowledge that Mrs. Malaprop is supposed to acquire. So she is very happy. She is too much happy, and it seems that she would support him. Absolute. It is but too true indeed, ma'am. Yet I fear our ladies should share the blame. They think our admiration of beauty so great that knowledge in them would be superfluous. What does he say? He says that actually women are qualitative, but they don't actually know it. The fact that they are qualitative and they always boast their beauty. That is the external thing. Thus, like garden trees, they seldom show fruit till time has fabled them of the more spacious blossom. Few like Mrs. Malaprop and the orange tree are rich in both at once. So actually, he is exaggerating the respect towards her, so that she should be too much happy and she should be misguided in that way. Sir, you overpower me with good breeding. He is the very pineapple of politeness. She also appreciates him, saying that he is a good breeding. Good breeding means he belongs to a refined family, high profile family. A cultured person is that. So that's why he is also appreciated by Mrs. Malaprop. Sir, he is the very pineapple of politeness. You are not ignorant, Captain, that this giddy girl has somehow contrived to fix her affections on a beggarly, strolling, eavesdropping ensign whom none of us have seen and nobody knows anything of. Now she is complaining her niece, Lydia Languis, that she is a foolish girl, an idiot girl, because she has started loving a foolish boy, Ensign Beverly, that nobody knows about him, that who is Ensign Beverly and where does he live actually, and nobody loves him. He is a most hated person among these family members, but she is an idiot girl. She has started loving him, but she is not known to this person that actually this is the person who is Ensign Beverly in her behind. Absolute. Oh, I have heard the silly affair before. I am not at all prejudiced against her on that account. He shares that he knows very well about Mr. Ensign Beverly, the person who is in love with Lydia Languis. But he is such a boy, such a generous boy, gentle boy, that he is ready to actually excuse Lydia Languis, to forgive Lydia Languis for this problem that she has created. Even if she loves Ensign Beverly, he is ready to marry her. So by this listening, she would be too much happy that the boy is really a gentle person, gentleman. You are very good and very considerate, Captain. I am sure I have done everything in my power since I exploded the affair. Actually, not exploded, exposed the affair. Long ago, I laid my positive conjunctions on her never to think on the fellow again. Conjunction not, injunctions. I have since laid her Sir Anthony's preposition before her, not preposition, proposal of marriage before her, but I am sorry to say she seems resolved to decline every particle that I enjoin her. Actually, she has fixed the marriage with him, but she is not ready to accept it. Lydia Languis is an adamant girl. She is not ready to accept any proposal that comes from other person. She has always been committed to love only to Ensign Beverly, but she doesn't know that Ensign Beverly and this fixed marriage is the same. Absolute. It must be very distressing indeed, ma'am. Oh, it gives me the hydroc hydrostatics to such a degree, I thought she had persisted from corresponding with him. But behold, this very day I have interceded another letter from the fellow. I believe I have it in my pocket. Actually, she claims that she has exposed the relationship between Lydia Langvis and Ensign Beverly, and she has captured, occupied so many letters sent by Ensign Beverly to her niece Lydia Langvis. And one of the letters she has already occupied, that is with her, that she wanted to read it before Captain Absolute. And Captain Absolute is the person who has written this letter to Lydia Langvis that was occupied by Mrs. Malaprop, and Malaprop wanted to read it before him. Aside, oh, the devil, my last note. Now, internally, he is shocked that this was the last letter written to Lydia Langvis, and this letter has been occupied by Mrs. Malaprop. The same letter she is going to read before him. Yeah, here it is. Absolute. Yeah, aside. I think you know about aside. It is a term, no? That he speaks by himself, and it is expected that Malaprop is not listening the dialogue that he is speaking. But we are able to listen it, no? We are able to know it. Yeah, my note indeed. Oh, the little traitress Lucy. Now he is really shocked to find that the letter he has sent to Lydia Langvis reaches in the hand of Mrs. Malaprop, who has deceived, actually it is Lucy, that she used to collect money from them, from the rivals, from the competitors, but she has also deceived him, not giving this letter to his intended receiver, Lydia Langvis, but she has given it to Mrs. Malaprop. So in this way, this letter has been occupied. Malaprop, there perhaps you may know the writing, gives him the letter, the same letter that has been sent by Captain Absolute as Ensign Beverly. Now he is going to read his own letter that has come here. I think I have seen the hand before. Yes, I certainly must have seen this hand before. Now he is acting that sometimes he knows this writing, sometimes he doesn't know whose writing is this, but he knows very well that this is his own letter that he has sent to Lydia Langvis, but Lucy has deceived him and delivered this letter to that of Mrs. Malaprop. Nay, but read it, Captain. Dekho. Now Captain Absolute is forced to read the same letter that he has himself sent it to Lydia Langvis. No? It means he is going to read his own letter. Reads, my soul's idol, my adored Lydia. It is a love letter. That's why it starts in that way. Very tender indeed. It is written in the letter. And letter was written by whom? By Captain Absolute himself, who is reading the letter. Tender, yeah. And profane too. Oh, my conscience. She is shocked. Mrs. Malaprop is shocked that such a tender letter has been written by that hated person, Ensign Beverly, and it has been intended to deliver to Lydia Langvis by Lucy. But Lucy actually deceived and sent this letter to Mrs. Malaprop that it is now he is reading. I am excessively alarmed at the intelligence you send me, the more so as my new rival. Actually, in that letter, he is talking that Lydia Langvis has informed him that another rival has come to marry me. It is actually Captain Absolute. His father came to fix the marriage. So she has informed all the matter regarding her fixed marriage with that of Captain Absolute to him. And in that letter, he has been talking about that person. Mrs. Malaprop, that's you, sir. You means Sir Captain Absolute. Lydia Langvis has written about Captain Absolute, that his father has come to fix my marriage. So my aunt, my guardian, Mrs. Malaprop, wishes to marry me with that of Captain Absolute. And he is the person before her. Has universally the character of being an accomplished gentleman and a man of honor, well, that's handsome enough. Absolute, Captain Absolute appreciates himself that really he is the handsome person. Mrs. Malaprop, oh, the fellow had some design in writing so. Actually, she is complaining against an Ensign Beverly, who is the same person. Absolute, that he had, I'll answer for him, ma'am. Absolute is acting that he will answer that person, Ensign Beverly. He is an enemy to him also because he is the rival. He is complaining like that. Mrs. Malaprop, but go on, sir, you will see presently. Absolute, as for the old weather-beaten sea dragon who guards you, who can he mean by that? Absolute is asking that who is that sea dragon? Who is this Saturn? The spirit, actually it is Mrs. Malaprop, that he has denounced her, saying that she is the spirit, वो चुड़ैल है, she is चुड़ैल, like चुड़ैल. Me, sir, me, he means me, there what you think now, but go on a little further. She is listening the letter, and Captain Absolute is reading his own letter as Captain Absolute, but that letter has been sent as Ensign Beverly. Absolute, impudent scoundrel, it shall go hard, but I will elude her vigilance, as I am told that the same ridiculous vanity which makes her dress up her coarse features and deck her dull chat with hard words which she don't understand. In that letter, as Ensign Beverly, he has leveled allegation against Mrs. Malaprop that she is the sea dragon, and she boasts that she is intellectual, but she knows nothing, and she also misapplies words while she speaks. So all the complaints that he has already written in that letter, and he is reading the letter before Mrs. Malaprop himself. Mrs. Malaprop, there, sir, an attack upon my language. She knows very well that in the letter written by Ensign Beverly, she has been attacked because she is in the habit of misapplying the words. So that's why this fault has been attacked by Mr. Beverly in the letter, and Captain Absolute is reading the letter. What do you think of that? An aspersion upon my parts of speech. Was ever such a brute? Sure, if I reprehend anything in this world, it is the use of my oracular tongue, not oracular tongue, vernacular tongue, local tongue. A nice derangement of epithets, not dearrangement, arrangement actually, and not epithets, epitaphs. It is actually epithets. So this is the misuse of words that she does before him. Did you ever hear anything like it? He will elude my vigilance. Because in the letter, Ensign Beverly has resolved that he would be cleanly appear before Lydia Languis, and he should not be recognized by Mrs. Malaprop. Yes, yeah. Ha. He is very likely to enter these doors. We will try who can plot best. Actually, she is reading the letter before him, and she is claiming that she will guard the door. He will not be able to enter my house without my permission. Absolute. So we will, ma'am, so we will. Ha ha ha. A conceited puppy. Ha ha ha.